Hey guys, it's Daniel, Flitzanu. Figured I'd do a quick video of the new Puresmoker Protege. And just to give you a size reference, sorry, I'm looking in a mirror trying to, okay. It's my Protege. Protege has a 901 adapter on it, and Protege has a 510, so quite a bit of difference. This thing is very small, much smaller than I thought it was going to be, which is cool. Everything's pretty solid. It actually feels pretty heavy compared to the aluminum being stainless steel. The logo is cool. There's pictures online of that. So anyway, and also, you know, the bottom cap is knurled. Everybody liked to complain about that on the Protege. I never thought it was a problem. So, but there you go. Everything was smooth. I have too much fluid in my cartridge, I can see. But I just tried it out. I just popped it on. It feels a little better than a standard 510 battery. It could be that it's freshly charged, but it definitely felt like a better hit. So, but I mean, you know, in all honesty, I guess it's not supposed to be that much better than a standard 3.7 volt battery that you would get with any e-cig kit, but it's going to give you much better life. So, the button's solid. The threads were just fine. Everything fits together the way it should. I don't see any complaints about it at all. No scratches on mine. Looks brand new. Looks perfect. Can't decide if I like the matte black atomizers now against the stainless steel. I may opt for, you know, steel atomizers. Then again, I prefer a lot of color anyway, so maybe I can find some colored ones somewhere. Anyway, like I said, I put too much fluid in here, so hopefully this works for this video, because shooting it on my iPhone, not really like I can edit it much, so. This is not a custom mix, this is a bought tobacco flavor, so it doesn't have a lot of glycerin in it. I don't inhale that deeply. I don't, you know, with store-bought flavors, it's a lot of propylene glycol. I usually add a lot of glycerin to mine, so my custom flavors usually give much better vapor if you want huge clouds. But anyway, this is also stronger nicotine than I usually use. I just don't bother diluting it. So don't judge the cloud of vapor by the production, because again, I'm not doing huge 15-second inhales like a lot of people do, but it's great flavor. The button is solid. It was pretty small. I don't see, you know, I don't have giant gorilla hands, but I thought it, you know, may have been an issue being so small, but it's not. I don't have any issue pushing the button or depressing the button entirely to get it to activate. Seems to work, you know, about the same as the Protege button, that you have to push it all the way in to get it to activate, so shouldn't be misfiring in your pocket or anything like that. So that's always a plus. Batteries, by the way, right here. Fits snugly, not a lot of loose space in the tube. You know, and it's not a bash against the Protege, but there is some loose space in the Protege, which I believe, you know, that could probably be trimmed down eventually, but I don't care. Works just fine. But for people that are looking for that answer, yes, the batteries do fit really snugly inside here, so I guess that's about it. I like it. I know I've said before I'm addicted to 5 volt. It's really difficult for me to use a 3.7 volt device now. But honest opinion, I would use this out and about, just because it's much smaller than Protege. I have no problem carrying my Protege with me anywhere, but custom flavors that I make for my Protege don't taste as good on 3.7 volt now, just because I'm spoiled to it. So one thing that does seem to taste good on 3.7 volt is tobacco flavors. So I generally, I had recently bought a 510 kit just because of the great reviews, so that's why I went with the 510 on this. The atomizers are pretty robust. I like them. Pretty small too, but they give great flavor. This one's been working great for me. So what I'm generally doing with, a 3.7 volt device is keeping tobacco flavor in it. It's great to swap between using 5 volt to let it cool down, because this, as long as I don't get it super hot, but it's not running at a high voltage, so it's not going to heat up as fast as a high voltage device. So great companion for using a high volt device. But again, if you're spoiled to 5 volt devices, there's a lot of difference in 3.7 volt and 5 volt, honestly, at least my personal opinion. So for me, most of my flavors that I really like are very muted on 3.7 volt. So I do stick with tobacco flavors on these now. I'll be taking this out with me tonight, so I will get opinions of non-vapors to see what they think of it. Most of my friends have tried the devices that I use, so that'll be a different perspective for people that aren't using this constantly, just to see what they think of it. But honestly, now that I'm holding it, the weight is really nice. I thought with it being so small that it might be a little flimsy, a little light, but I think stainless steel was a good choice, because it definitely gives a really good weight to it. Feels very balanced. Of course, the back end is much heavier, but it doesn't feel overly bottom heavy, with the added weight of the battery and the steel tube. But it's a good solid feel in the hand. The metal is, it's not slippery. I know I'm touching on a lot of aesthetics, not technical parts of this, but it's cool. I dig it. I think Puresmoker did a great job with this, and go buy one if you like 3.7 volt devices, or if even if you don't, if you want a companion for a high voltage device, something smaller to carry around with you. If you like being discreet, if you don't like carrying a giant device around, go for one of these. What else can I say? Buy one. Yeah, by the way, first video review I've really done. Also, first video I'm shooting on my iPhone, so hopefully quality is okay and hopefully it doesn't suck. But anyway, so there you go. And maybe another shot there of the... It's not perfectly lined up, but pretty close. The whole tube itself comes just above the bottom of the button on Protege. If you have a Protege and you're looking for comparison of size, the top of the cap comes just right up, not quite that to the middle mark on the button on Protege, just a little bit above the bottom of it. So very small, very small. Pictures really don't do it justice. It's a very sharp looking device. So get one or you fail. See ya.